In this video, we'll be doing a cast testing session using the new Daiwa Alphas BF TW. This is the latest bait finesse reel released in Japan from Daiwa, and this guy here sports the SS Magforce, just like the SS Air. Now, if you haven't watched my other cast testing video, the other video, I basically went and did a cast testing session to explore the brakes fully because the SS Magforce is very unique compared to other braking system that Daiwa have released in the past. This reel here is in collaboration built with KTF. The inductor cup here basically have two braking powers. When you cast very light, it will use very, very light brakes, like super light. And when you cast very heavy, that's where it kicks in. This braking system is very versatile so that you cast somewhat a acceptable range distance, right, for bait finesse. But for close quarter casting, you use very little power so that it reduces fatigue. You can also skip with it, which is going to be very, very fun. But the question is, for freestyle bait finesse anglers who don't really use fluorocarbon and fish the way that Japanese bass angler use bait finesse, they use PE like what I do. The question is, like, how does it behave with lighter lures? Like, can it cast far? What if you use lighter power or heavier casting power, right? Like, how does it behave? We will find out in this video. Right off the bat, I want to mention a predecessor reel, okay? So this is the second time this magnet braking system was made available in Daiwa reels. The first one was the SS Air, and that sports a 28mm spool. And people have reported that reel didn't cast very far, and it's not made to cast far because, well, 28mm spool is made to cast light lures for close quarter distance. So if you have a reel that potentially will be over braked, it's going to suffer some distance. So the question is, will this happen with the lighter lures? We need to find out. So let's get to the water and do some cast testing. I have 0.8 go. This is Varivas Absolute PE, and I have about 149 feet because I went out twice already, did cast testing and fishing session with this reel, and I cut the line just a little bit to change leader materials. I have about a rod length of 4-pound mono just for this cast testing sake, and for the rod, I have the Tsurinoya. This is the QLC 602 Ultralight, and this is the 2-piece rod, and it rated down to 1 gram. So let's see how this reel behave with lighter lures. All right, it's cast testing time, okay? The first lure I'm gonna throw is probably gonna be the heaviest in my arsenal for today. I do have some heavier ones, but I was like, yeah, let's just do this one. So what I have here is the new Z-Man. Basically, is a grub tail on their shad heads, 1/16 ounce. And the total weight here is gonna be 2 3/4 grams. And you guys probably gonna shoot me for going from a fraction of an ounce to, metric grams with decimals, but now I'm mixing grams, metric, right, with some more fractions. But yeah, it's 2.74, okay, on the scale. But anyway, we are gonna start casting. I am gonna put it in middle brakes right now because we know this reel here has some strong brakes, okay? Like, I could put this thing at 0 and cast hard and it will not backlash. And as you see, there you go. Okay, 10 brakes. Didn't really go that far, okay, as expected, but what if I cast lightly? All right, so some just light, casting lightly, it kind of went to the left a little bit. Let me try a different side. All right, there it goes. Try a few more casts, but I think I may have to compensate, right? Nope, it was probably just wind because the wind is going to the left, slightly from behind me. I'm standing here specifically because I don't want the wind to hit the mic. I do have a new camera here. This is the Osmo 5 Pro from DG, and yeah, it's slightly going to the left a little bit. But I think so far so good. But as anticipated, I may have said it in the intro. I forgot already, but who knows? Sometimes I redo my intros a few times based on what I find in my cast testing session, right? And ooh, that's good distance. Okay, so I was gonna say, some people said that the SS Air, the 28mm spool instead of the 30 here, is sports the same braking system, and they can't get any distance. So of course, with a heavier braked reel and a small diameter spool, you're definitely not gonna get more casting distance, right? It's gonna suffer a lot. But will this reel do okay? If this is like BFS distance, right? I think it's okay. I would say if I were to use a reel with a similar spool diameter, I guess that would be the Tatula BF70, I'll probably cast a lot further. But yeah, this reel here is really tuned for bass fishing, and I'm casting, I would say that really lovely distance. I think I'll cast a little bit further with any bait finesse reel that's not with the SS Magforce. But let me put this all the way down to 0 for a second and just wing it. Whee! It does backlash, look at that. You know, using the heavier lures, it didn't backlash at all at 0 breaks. But with this here, I guess it will backlash a little bit. It is a lot lighter. So what happens is the lure loses momentum, slows down, and is no longer pulling the line out, right? So yeah, you can't 0 compared to heavier lures. But let's put this at, let's say, that looks like 4. Okay, let's try it again. All right, no overspooling there, but that's pretty good distance, and mind you, it's casting with the wind, okay? But yeah, overall, I feel like I could cast better with a SS Magforce breaking reel from Daiwa if it comes to this style of fishing. So once again, this is 2 and 3/4, but 2.74 grams. I have to say, you're gonna expect if you were to use this reel for freestyle bait finessing with PE line instead of fluoro, it will cast a little shorter than your typical BFS reel. But let's change the lure up. Let's go lighter and see how it feels. All right, the next lure I'm throwing is gonna be 2 grams on the dot. I got the Micro Finesse shroom heads. This is the 1/20th ounce plus the worms, the Micro Finesse worms, okay? Very tiny little tickler, okay? You guys see that little tickler thing? Ooh, that thing is crazy. But anyway, 2 grams. Cast pretty accurate. It's actually pretty far with a little bit over spooling. That's very interesting. This is at 3 breaks. Okay, let me cast it again. But this seems interesting. Like I'm casting light. That's the thing. Like I'm bait finesse light casting. Okay, for those who are not familiar with this reel or didn't watch my other cast testing video, which went in details with the braking, right? Like it was just focused on the brakes and how it behaved. I explored the brakes throughout the entire range, and I was casting in strong and light. This spool and the inductor cup is very special. It's different from the predecessors, okay? You cast lightly, it's gonna apply very little brakes. You cast hard, then it apply that crazy brakes and it retracts back. So those light casts, oh my gosh, it actually goes pretty good. Like that's a very light cast, and it goes really well, okay? Break 3, but now I'm gonna wing it. I'm gonna wing it, see what happens. So the distance is not much further, which is interesting because again, when you cast very hard, that brake kicks in, okay? Let me do a few more, okay? We'll alternate from light and heavy. So here's a light cast. All right, I'm going to that direction right in front of me, okay? And now I'm gonna cast a little harder. It's just a little further. I did feel the braking kick in, but now I'm gonna cast hard. Yeah, so the distance is maybe like 1 yard, 1 yard, 1 yard from low, medium to high. So as you see, it's not made for casting any of these light lures far. So I will put another lure on right now to see how low it goes. All right, folks, I moved down just a little bit. I felt like the wind is not that crazy. So if I move down towards this way, I might get a chance to catch a fish, right? But I got the EPF swim right now, okay? So I am at break 3. Watch this. Overspool near the end, break 3. But it went out far. I have to say that's pretty far. Like, let me try casting harder. Like, I think that was like a pretty light cast, okay? I feel like it was a pretty light cast, but right now, I want to say that it's so cold. It's 32 degrees, and it's actually dipping a little bit, and it's gonna be snowing. Anyways, cast harder. All right, so if I cast harder, you know, the distance is about the same, and I tapped it right before it overspooled. So I feel like it's still gonna overspool because this lure is pretty light, and we have some wind. But if I have it at break 3 and I cast very lightly, you know, you have to feather, you have to thumb right on time because when it's spinning that quick, ooh, man. But that is something interesting I want to say about this reel right here. Like, that's good distance for a 1.3 gram. Like, I know I said I won't try to cast a trout magnet, but now I want to. Like, accuracy is here. Distance for a tiny little lure, it's actually pretty good. Why is it casting so amazing? okay? Like I came to the wind, so you know, yeah, it's going a little left just a little bit, but I feel like it's pretty accurate because I made a few casts already and I feel like it's accurate. Man, I don't know, man. This is good distance, okay? This is good distance, and I'll have to say, wow, okay? Wow. All right, let's move on. Trout magnet. Let's just get it over with. Do trout magnet, and I'm going home because it's freezing. All right, so last lure, trout magnet. Let's go. Yeah. Okay, so I got a little backlash. I am at break 4. I turn it up a little bit just in case, and I knew it. It's gonna happen. All right, so let's turn it up just a little bit more. Let's do 5. I'm gonna cast kind of hard first. Okay, so if you cast hard, it will overspool right off the bat. So I don't think the brakes, it's gonna handle it well for casting hard. So you're probably better off putting lower brakes and cast softly and feather through. And try again. But this one was not that great. All right, that was at 5. So let me put the brakes down on, let's say 2. Very softly. Nope, backlash softly. So yeah, the trout magnet is a very difficult cast. And well, we do have some wind. So let me turn to the side for a little bit. And I'll put it back to, let's say 4. Okay. All right, and we'll do the final cast right here. All right, so I felt, yep, it did backlash. I felt the overspooling and it jerked in middle of air. Yeah, so the limitation I would say with 150 yards, it's gotta be the 1.3 gram level. All right, this is probably the most interesting cast testing session ever. I mean, this reel right here is unique. It's gonna be interesting. I say that if you are a freestyle bait finesse angler who want to use PE line because it's lighter than fluoro, right? And you want to get as far distance as you want on a bait caster for light lures, okay? This won't be the reel for you. Based on this cast testing session and my other one, I find that it is definitely shorter casting distance compared to, say, let's say a Tatula BF 70, okay? With this new SS Magforce, it's definitely a lot more restricted for that harder cast, so it will be very controlled. I mean, good news is you can skip if your lure is skippable, but for those freestyle bait finesse anglers that love to use PE instead of fluorocarbon so that you get that distance, it's not for you guys, okay? But I did find it interesting that the EPF swim cast it very well, and then the trout magnet did horrible. The middle ground was pretty good too for, I guess, close quarter range. Like for those light lures, I felt like it's okay. But if you were throwing, let's say, a little bit heavier, like maybe towards the, my heaviest one, the 2.75 one, right? Or maybe 3 grams, I feel like using other reels, okay, will cast a lot further. But yeah, I think what I'll use this reel for the remainder of the season, because I do like it. I want to explore more. And for 2025, my goal is to explore fluorocarbon line anyway and do more traditional bait finesse fishing, which is basically soft plastics rigged in many different ways and potentially even fishing in some cover if I want to do some power bait finesse fishing. So you definitely want to stay tuned for that. I'll definitely use this reel a lot. So if you guys are interested in see how this reel performs in more of a traditional fluorocarbon fishing setup, definitely want to stay tuned for that because that is my focus. I thank you all for watching this video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment below. Once again, I have gotten this reel from Digitaka, no affiliation. And yeah, get your bait finesse game on, and I'll catch you on the next episode.